Hi everybody. I've been working on a project that started last year around deep nature connection, and that project kind of got halted because of the COVID, and I wanted to do some videos to keep the momentum for now, and deep nature connection seems kind of antithetical to video, but I'm gonna do it because I'd like to. So I want to start, and I'll be doing a series of videos, but I want to start with sort of my lineage, and I won't be saying it each time, though maybe I might mention a teacher here or there at different times. But basically my deep nature connection practice started with a mentorship with John Young, who was really, my mentorship was different than the other mentorships I'm going to talk about. It's a much less deep mentorship, but some mentorship from John Young, who was really mentored by Tom Brown, who was mentored by grandfather. And I also have been mentored by two women in a program that was called Infinite Wild. I don't think it happens anymore. Rachel, I don't remember her last name, and Michelle Salceda, who I was also introduced to teachers like Tamara Wilder, Corrine Pierce, later to Wonia Thibault, I think is her name, and then also doing some work with bird language with Weaving Earth. So those are some of the teachers that I've had, and there's more, but I'll just start with that. So some of what I'm bringing is lessons that I've learned from them or have come through them, or things that I've discovered through my own connection practices. And one of the things that when I go out on a wander or a bird sit, when I enter the place that I'm going to be, and right now we're at Natural Bridges in the back area, which is basically my home away from home. I spend so many hours here. I feel deeply connected to this place, and it holds a lot of my stories. When I come each time, the first thing that I do is I close my eyes, sometimes just soften them, and connect with gratitude. And you know, it can be anything, but oftentimes it's something that hits me right there. It might be the breeze on my skin, which I'm feeling right now, or the smell of the landscape and the grasses, which is just intoxicating right now. And then after I connect with gratitude and just let my whole being experience the gratitude for a bit, so really savoring it. I like to savor life. Then I purposely relax my body before I enter kind of the landscape that's not the concrete asphalt world. I like to do this because, well, what I think I learned from John Young is you never want to disturb a feeding bird. So I have a sense of I'm entering my friend's house. This is where they live. My plant friends, my animal friends, all these friends live here. And I don't want to bust into their house without awareness of my impact. So I just sort of relax my body. This is something I try and practice at home too. When I walk outside my door, I don't always remember, but sometimes I'll just rush out the door and I'll notice the birds fly away scared. And so I want to just sort of stand next to the door, open it, walk out with awareness. And if there's a bird, or if I'm walking in Natural Bridges and there's birds feeding, then I get to practice seeing if I could pass them without scaring them. And sometimes to do that, it's helpful to kind of walk slow and turn your body away from the bird. And just, if you notice it stop feeding and look up, then it's sort of going, oh, you're getting a little close, so maybe seeing if you could go a little farther away. But it takes a lot of energy for them to move really fast, especially if they're scared. And I like to make sure that I help them conserve their energy. And so that's one of the practices that I do when I come to the landscape. Yeah, so I want to talk about that a little bit more too. Another practice that's been so fun to play around with is the deer that I notice on here. And the deer are so great because the second they know you're there, that whoops, their ears are right at you, and they're looking right at you, and they're waiting to see if you're a predator or not. And I've tried this. I just look at them and they can stay like this for so many minutes just staring. The second that I take my hand and pretend to eat something, like grazing behavior, they immediately go into grazing themselves again. Like, it's instantaneous. They get the message that you're not doing predatory behavior, and they instantly relax and go about their business. So that's a sweet practice you can practice with yourself and play around with. It's super fun.